Hello, we are team number 3. We are composed by Gabriel Ibon, Alan Hutler, Enrique Hernandez, Arad Valdez, and me, Daniel Sugasti. And we are going to talk about the acid rain in the environment. How does the acid rain influence in our environment and also in the cities? In this video, you will see concepts about the acid rain and the pollution and the relation between them. Also, you will see both theoretical and practical experiments, in which the theoretical is composed by the growth of the plants and how does the acid rain influence in the growth of the plants and the vegetation of the environment. And the practical experiment is treated about corrosion and how does the acid rain affects the corrosion and both the structures and monuments in the cities. Finally, you will see a brief conclusion, our results, and we will see if our hypothesis was true or not. And you will see also some proposals about how can we reduce acid rains and the pollution to get a better environment. This video will be divided in problem statement, hypothesis, results, and a brief conclusion.
The contamination is one of the great causes of the acid rain. The contamination is involved with the acid rain when the fabrics and CO2 from cars get to the air, and that CO2 go to the clouds. The clouds, when they start to accumulate the humidity, the rain starts to fall, and that causes the acid rain. One of the effects of the acid rain is the corrosion of metals and different elements in the construction of buildings. Another is the damage all the plants around the area that cause irreversible damage to the living beings like plants and some of aquatic living beings such as fish, that when the acid rain gets into rivers, damage the creatures by altering the pH of the water, and some of the animals that are in the water can't tolerate that load of acidity of pH, and most of them die. Also, it's not completely comproved, but it affects the health of human beings when it's in contact with skin, because of the acidity of the pH can cause some irritation of the skin, and those are most of the effects that the acid rain have.
Hello, my name is Gabriel, and I will introduce the problem of our Pia. Our problem is acid rain. So, what is acid rain? Acid rain is a form of pollution that occurs with the fall of acids present in the atmosphere through rain, fog, and snow. It is characterized for having a lower pH than the normal or clean rain. The acid rain is mainly produced by 5 chemical elements: SO2, NO, NO2, CO2, and CO. The SO2 is mainly produced in industries as a way of coolant in the refrigerator process. This is not handled properly, the CO2 will be released. Then the NO is also produced in industries to produce fertilizers and help grow plants, but they also pollute the water. The NO2 is produced in the oxidation of organic nitrogen compound in fossil fuels and by the thermal fixation in contact with the rain. It produces H2SO4, which makes acid rain. The CO2 are formed by combustion with like cars and fabrics, and they also produce acid rain. So the effects of acid rains are they make water lakes, streams, wetlands, and other aquatic environments such as water become more acidic. That combination makes water toxic for aquatic animals even. So our problem is that acid rain has a massive corrosive power because of the pH that it has. So acid rain damages buildings and structure because it dissolves the stone or corrodes the metal that is exposed to the weather. Because before people became aware of that acid rain caused this, they used metals like limestone or marble as building materials to rain and fog. So, for example, we have that right now in Mexico we have a case of less than 5.6 pH in rainwater in the Ciudad of Mexico. So the constructions and monuments that the mines built are formed from limestone rock, whose main component is calcium carbonate, which upon coming into contact with this rain dissolves, degrading the inscription and the legacy of this civilization.
Our hypothesis says that the order of the more corrosive to the less corrosive will be the coke in the first place, then the lime juice, and then the water. The coke have more probabilities to corrode the chalk because of the different chemicals it has than the lime juice because of the natural acid it has, and then the water because the water will be with no chemicals, so there will be nothing that can corrode it in the water. That will be the most logical order to order the corrosive substances we are going to prove in this. And in this case, we're going to use vinegar instead of lemon juice. So it also will be in second place because of the properties of the vinegar that can alter the consistency of the matter. So the place will be in first place the coke, second the vinegar, and third the water.
My name is Valdez, and now we're going to test our hypothesis. For this, we're going to make a simple experiment. You will need the following materials: coke, a glass, some chalk, vinegar, and then some water. The independent variables are going to be the chalk, and then the dependent variables is going to be the different substances they're going to make, like the vinegar, the coke, and the water. The water will be acting as a normal corrosive material. As you can know, it rains in most places. And then the vinegar and the coke will be acting as the acid rain. The chalk finally will be acting as the substances that is going to corrode, just as the rocks or just as the Mayan sculptures. The first thing, the acid rain is created by the following substances: SO, NO, and NO2. That is going to be the different fertilizers that we use in plants. Then the CO and the CO2 that is created by the factories as normal pollutants, or even the humans or the cars. The first thing that we need to do is to put the 3 bottles of glasses and put it in vinegar, coke, and water. Then we're going to measure its pH with a pH indicator and with its graph to tell which pH has the substances. In this time, we're going to make it only with the coke and the vinegar, because as we know, the water is a neutral substance and its pH can be 7. Finally, we will need to put a piece of chalk. In this case, we're going to place a big chunk of chalk, and we're going to take the time to take these different substances to dissolve. Then this is the purpose to measure the pH of the substances, and also to tell which of the acid rain is more corrosive, even if it is from the CO2, the NO2, or even if you use normal coke or vinegar. This is going to affect not only the plants but also the animals that drink the water, and it's going to affect us also with our historical places, just as the Mayan sculptures. As an explanation of the results, as we can see in the following images, at first they began to put up some things, some bubbles, as they were decomposing. As we can see in the water, they put some bubbles, but they were not as much. They were not as much as in comparison with the Coke and with the vinegar. Then, finally, in the following images, we can see that the chalk began to precipitate. They began to appear some little things of chalk at the end of the water. This happened at 24 hours that the experiment was made.
Hi, I'm Alan and I'm going to talk about the results and the conclusion. In the experiment, the chalk make a reaction with the coke and the vinegar, as it can be seen in the images, but with the water doesn't make any kind of reaction. This is because with the coke and vinegar make an acid-base reaction with the chalk, but with water doesn't make any kind of reaction because it is a neutral substance. Our hypothesis was incorrect because we said that the order that will be dissolving the chalk faster will be the coke and then the vinegar and then the water. But the order that finally we get was that the vinegar dissolves the fastest the chalk and then the coke and then the water. This is because the vinegar has less pH than the coke and making it more acidic. Therefore, it will dissolve the chalk faster. Conclusion: acid rain is a contamination problem that can cause several damages to the environment. For example, in water, it augments the acid level of the water, making that the fishes that currently receive high levels of acid water die, and also intoxicate the animals that drink from that water. In plants, it reduces the growing of the plants and sometimes stop its growing. And in buildings, because of the acid, it dissolves the structure of the buildings, making several damages to the buildings, and it can be compared, as mentioned before, with the Mayan sculptures. Well, that's all, and thank you for nothing, you assholes.